Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mitas Sukihotu. I'm Aliana and welcome once again to Sutta discussion. Today is day 30 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Tonight, we are going to discuss the fifth session of Sigalovada Sutta, which is the fourth sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. And whoever interested to join the Zoom class where we can engage directly with Bhante, can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amat Pradana's client Facebook Messenger. We are welcoming newcomers. However, this class and the previous classes will be broadcasted on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amat Pradana client Facebook page and YouTube channel. Now, please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Patisota Canada, a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners as well as expert students in learning Dharma in a variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dhamma Pariyesana, Patisota's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on a regular basis. You can check on Patisota with the link www.patisota.blogspot.com. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima earned his PhD in Buddhist Studies in 2015 from University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 to 2015, Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante, and thank you very much for the talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Aliana, for the wonderful, grateful introduction every day. And thank you, Lim. I didn't know that you are on the road preparing all this techie stuff. And today we have Bella. Bella came after a retreat somewhere in Chiang Mai, and Aliana, Hema, Kim, Sadris, Lim, and Dihan. I don't know. I mean, probably a couple of them might be joining as we proceed. Okay, so as Aliana said, today is the fifth day 5 of our discussion about Sigalovada Sutta. And if you look at the total number, it is 30, day 30. It's been 30 days that we've been doing some time. So as of today, we've been covering almost 3 main suttas: Mahamangala Sutta, Ratana Sutta, and Metta Sutta. And I know that you learn things that you have never seen, how they, are supposed to be, especially with the commentary and the Pali context. Normally, there are a lot of translations, so we carefully looked at these translations and all that. Sigalovada Sutta. Now, as we proceed, the number of suttas, you might perhaps be wondering, is this an important sutta or not? All suttas are important, but they carry different aspects. Now, Mahamangala, Ratana, and Metta Suttas, they carry, this usual chanting style. But what we did in our discussions was that there is a different meaning to all these, suttas. Mahamangala Sutta. The emphasis of the sutta is that you can't always expect blessings from the worthy people. So there is a certain level of blessings you can get, but most of the blessings that you should be getting, especially in that full swing, come from by executing, creative things. There are 38 creative things that you had to create in your life, so the blessings will come on your way. Right? That's the new thing. That's a new idea. It's not a new idea, but for you, it's a new idea. That is the idea of the sutta. The second is Ratana Sutta, and I emphasize it's mainly about the Sotapanna philosophy, which not many people deal in that context. They might say there are some Sotapanna stuff inside, but the whole thing is about how to attain the bare minimum level of Dhammapat, Sotapatti. Become a Sotapanna, attaining Sotapatti. Metta Sutta, we also discuss in an interesting way, the first half, second half. First half has 15 skillful habits, which means that prepare you to be an eligible candidate to practice metta. And then the rest is the, universal practice of metta. So, Sigalovada Sutta, what is important in here? The important thing in this sutta is that this is called as the discipline of the lay people. The main sutta in the sutta text to be, I would say, handbook of the layman. This is what they call handbook of the layman. And, it talks about how do you scorn the money and how do you understand bad friends and good friends. Today we have to start from the bad friends. Up to today, we've been discussing the background story of the Sigalovada Sutta, which means there was a young man who did not like going to a temple, learning Dhamma, so their parents were already Sotapannas, and then how did it happen. And in search of his finding of 6 directions, the Buddha met him. He met the Buddha on the way early in the morning, and then the Buddha first started by saying to him about the ways of squandering money, 6 ways of squandering money. We all discussed what they were. And then the Buddha talks about why do people do bad acts, right? Why do people engage in akusala? There are 4 main reasons for akusala. I talk about panatipata, dinadana, and all that, but don't know why human mind is always hardwired into bad stuff naturally. It's because of those 4 things. Chanda, dosa, bhaya. Prejudice, dosa means hatred, bhaya means fear, and moha means ignorance. So these are the fundamental triggers, drives that bring us to whole akusala, papa, right? And then the 6 scorning ways of money. And today we're going to be studying friends. So there are 8 types of friends, for good, for bad. So we start from the bad friends. So Hema, this is going to be number 11 of Pali 1, Sutta Central 1, Mitta Patirupaka. And it's going to be number 15 of the English translation. But before all that, let's pay homage to Buddha 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. So Bella, would you like to share some of your retreat highlights? What happened for over a month? Vipassana. Can you unmute your...
Yes, my Vipassana Kammatthana practice is okay, good. Anytime anytime I practice, after finish, it gets better. It's okay for me.
How long was the whole duration?
How long this time? Yeah, but 40 days.
Oh, 40 days.
Because I start from the 1st September and finish on 10 October.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Actually, I attend the practice 3 months in Vasa, but only after since the pandemic. This year is the first time for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Okay, let's get back. Actually, I think I informed you yesterday that we've been doing Sigalovada Sutta to this level. So you asked us about which sutta and all that. So it's going to be page number, as I said earlier. What page number? The point number 11 in Pali, Mitta Patirupaka, and in English it's going to be point number 15, right? Yeah, it's 15. So who would like to read the Pali? We have Brutus too. Huh? Nice to see you again. Yeah. Okay, who would like to read? Mitta Patiru Paka. So yeah. Anybody wants to give it a try?
Okay, Bhante, I'll try.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Chataru mi gahapati puta. Amita pati rupaka. Vedi taba. Anyata tubharu. Amito mita pati rupako. Vedi tabo. Vechi paramo amito. Mita pati rupako. Vedi tabo. Anupi yapani amito mita pati rupako. Vedi tabo. Apaya sahayo amito mita pari rupako. Vedi tabo.
Great. Yeah, it's good. Mitta Patirup. First, we have to find out the meaning of these words. Mitta means, it's friend. But Patirupaka. This is a new word to all of you. Patirupaka. In Pali, Patirupaka means somebody in the guise of, or somebody who is resembling to a friend. But he's not a friend, not a good friend. Somebody who is acting as a friend, but not a friend. So when you see Mitta or something else with Patirupaka, that means not the actual person, but somebody who is showing, who is in the disguise of a friend, but not a good friend. So Patirupaka has been added here to show that the crookedness or the what you call the bad nature of that particular person. If you add here something else, it will be the opposite of that person's good stuff. Patirupaka means resembling or disguised as a friend, somebody who is disguised as a friend, but not a good friend. Chattaromi. Let me read for you also. Chattaromi Gahapati Putta. Comma, right? At each comma, we have to stop. Chattaromi Gahapati Putta. Amitta Mitta Patirupaka Veditappa. Anya Dattu Haru Amittu Mitta Patirupako Veditappu. Vachi Paramu Amittu Mitta Patirupako Veditappu. Anuppiya Bhani Amittu Mitta Patirupako Veditappu. Apaya Sahayo Amittu Mitta Patirupako Veditappu. It's very simple. Huh? Chattaro means there are 4. Gahapati Putta means householder. Now the Buddha is addressing this Singhala young man, Singhala. Amitta. Amitta means bad friends, not Mitta. Amitta, Mitta Patirupaka. It's another way of saying somebody who is acting as a friend, but not a real friend. Veditabba, should be understood. Okay, here you can see in English translation, young man, be aware of these 4 enemies, disguised as friends. Okay. here. Anya Dattu Haro. Let me show you the names of these 4 bad friends. Anya Dattu Haro is the first one. Second, Vachi Paramo. Third, Anupiya Bhani. Fourth, Apaya Saham. Now the Buddha is asking young householder called Sigala, hey Sigala, you have to understand that there are 4 bad friends. They seem to be friends, but not friends. They are enemies. First one is Anya Dattu Haro. Second one is Vachi Paramo. Third one, Anupiyabani. Fourth one, Apaya Sahaya. You want me to type in here the names? Or you can find it by self. That is pretty easy, right? No need to write them here. Then if you pass that paragraph, you can see the first one, actually the characteristics of the first. So I want to tell you that I'm not gonna finish all these bad friends today because I think it's good to discuss. So I'll do first bad friend today, next bad friend next Friday, third one others Friday, and the fourth bad. So taking whole 1 month for the bad friends. So it's pretty easy to witness and then spot these people, right? Okay, the first bad friend, Anya Dattu Haro. Okay. Chatuhiko Gahapati Putta Tanehi Anya Dattu Haro Amitto Mitta Patirupako Vitto. Householder, there are 4 ways or 4 what you call aspects that you can notice, you can know a bad friend called Anya Dattu Haro. Now I'm going to decombine this word here. Just look at your chat. Okay, this is the word. Anya Dattu Haro. This is how I'm going to decombine Anya. Okay. Anyang, actually, Tatang. Okay. I think you can see, right? Now, the easiest way to understand this is this decombination. I think everyone knows about the combination in Pali, right? In Pali, the words are combined, right? For easy pronunciation, right? So they are combined. So a couple words, few words are combined for the easy articulation. Can we think about another Pali word that has a lot of words inside that is already combined? Okay. Anybody wants to guess anything? There are many words, huh? Like I would say there are many words in that context because the reason is that by combining words, it is pretty easy for us to pronounce, right? Articulate. So here Anyang means other people. Dattang means given or whatever the stuff they have. Hara means taking away. So Anya Dattu Hara, friend, simply means somebody who is going to other person's place, house or somewhere, always trying to take his or her stuff away. That is the nature of the Anya Dattu Hara friend. Now we will look at more things about this particular person and how it happens. Okay. The first characteristic, now there are 4. There are 4 bad friends. Each bad friend has a couple characteristics. Now here, Anya Dattu Hara has 4 bad characteristics. First one is Anya Dattu Haro Hoti. That means when he or she meets or goes to another friend's house, he or she always try to take something away from that person's house or place. Now, this is how it was given in commentary. Tatta Anya Dattu Hatiti ekang seva harakaiva sahayakassa gehang rittahata. Okay. Now, Anyadattuvara friends, first characteristic means that person goes to a friend's house with empty-handed, being empty-handed, does not bring anything. Then after that, after going to that good friend's house, Nivatta Satakadina Vannam Basati. He's or she or he is looking at his clothing. You have a very pretty good dress today. Yeah, so good. How much? You can normally ask how much is it, but this person keeps asking always, even when they sit down for a tea or for the meal, always bringing that up. Oh, the dress is right. So he's or she is making that person to a place where, if that person is a good person, okay, I'm gonna give this to this person, right? Agantva hati nivatta satakadina vannam bhasati. So when he wants to get something from somebody, he or she always talk about that particular thing, or maybe talk good about that dress or any equipment or money or whatever thing. Okay. Then what happens here to the good friend? Sa ativiya twang samma imassa vannam bhasasiti. That friend thinks about, okay, this friend is always talking about this particular dress or something in my house, so he feels very empathetic, compassionate, kind about him. And then anyang nivasetva tang deti. If it was a dress, he or she might say, okay, I'm gonna get another one, so I'm gonna give this to you. This is a very smart technique that some people may do, right? Even at the time of the Buddha, right? Now, I know there are people who might say, you know what? Okay, how did you get that? That was a gift. Okay. You know what? Giving gift to another person as a gift will become the best gift. You know that? Oh, really? Okay. Here it is, right? So there are different ways of, some people try to take things away from other friends. So this Anyadattuvara friend's main characteristic is always praise about what he wants, what she wants of the friend. That's the first characteristic, right? And right, and we can go to other three characteristics after, but let's talk about this particular nature of this Anyadattuvara friend. Have you ever noticed such people? And don't say that you have a friend like that, but have you ever personally witnessed, seen somewhere people like that who are doing that? Any encounters in your life? If not, okay, you might say something after. If not, what happens if one of your friends keep talking good about something, unusually, repeatedly? Do you think that you will feel that I gotta give this thing to that person? Oh, you take it as a compliment. Yeah. It's a good dress. It's a good dress. It's a good dress. But H&M, H&M. Saying the shop's name, yeah, it's a good dress, H&M. I'm not saying any brand, but I'm just saying some people might say you can buy too. But have you ever felt pressurized by somebody who kept asking, who not asking? They don't ask from you, okay? They do it very smart, in a smart way. They always try to praise about it to a level that you can't keep it more, right? It's kind of a bullying thing too, in a way. Any thoughts? Yeah,
I think that's what you call a cunning friend. He praise you till he got it for free. Then later we will soft heart and say, okay, since you like it so much, I give it to you.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these type of friends.
Oh, yeah, see, living examples. And you know what? They are not approaching everybody like that. They are approaching good people for that. It's good people, when they are pressurized, they can't say anything. So they are more, the more they are pressurized, the more they think, okay, I'm going to give this to this. Because I have a reputation of being generous to everybody. So this guy, I had to give it to him. there are some tricky points, right? They are not approaching the people who are greedy, yeah, because they won't give anything to them, right? Anybody else? Any thoughts? You don't need to say anything about your personal friendships. I mean, you can just give an idea about what you think about it too.
Again, Bhante, it's all generally, they know who they can
Yeah,
pin
yeah,
on
that's
to
what
get
we
it.
just talked about.
Yeah, they know your weakness, so they pressure you and keep praising and saying it's nice, it's nice. Then in the end, we feel, okay, you want it so much, I give it to you.
But the nicest thing here is that pressurizing, that pressure is a help, that it's a sweet pressure, right? We don't feel it. Like it can be what you call probably bragging about yourself. You are such a generous person. You know what? You have this thing, nice thing, and then he or she knows how to take to that level. Yeah, it's not like you have to give it to me. It's not like that. So this particular characteristic is that this particular person is trying to get things in a smart way. Yeah.
Bhante, good talker. Is it?
Good. Okay. Okay.
Sweet talker.
Yeah. Let me tell you, this good talking will be another characteristic of another friend here too. But I think it involves good talking too. Probably a sweet talker. That is not given somewhere here. A sweet talker, probably a smart talker.
So those who empathize will give.
Yeah, it is.
So it's actually happening to the good people.
Mostly. And I think it is not only a personal problem too. It does not only happen at the personal level. It could be happening at the country level too. One country is going to another country, a developed country, and asking things for the infrastructure in a way that that it could be maybe a company, maybe a society, maybe it can happen at any level. The sweet talking, right? But anyways, there may be an urge for some people to get things. But if you have somebody like this over and over, there's something to think about. It's not healthy, right? Yeah, so that's the first thing. Maybe you may come up with questions later. So I would say, as you said, good talker, but a sweet talker, right? Because there's one characteristic of another bad friend, good talker. Okay, so then let's look at the second characteristic of this bad friend called Anyadattuhara. Actually, this friend's name has been given as Anyadattuhara because that is the most visible characteristic of his bad friendship. Okay, but he or she has another three characteristics too. Anyadattuharo hoti, that's the first one. Second one, appena bahumichati. That is interesting. Appena bahumichati. What's the English translation here? 15. Asking for a lot while giving little. Yeah. So this Anyadattuhara friend also, contributes. Okay, by ways of money, right? Maybe another thing, but a little, and then he or she expects a lot, right? That means we all Buddhists are like that, huh? Offer a small amount of dana and expecting a lot of things, huh? In the next slide, is it like that? Are there some devotees who are creating some bank interest by doing a lot of merits? Okay, our purpose of doing good karma is to, give up overcome unwholesome thoughts. But the second, what do you call, characteristic of the Anyadatuhara friend, giving a little but expecting a lot. Let's see how it happens in the commentary. Appena bahu michchati iti yankinchi appakang datva tassa santika bahum pattiti. So let's say you have a friend like that, like this. So he or she approaches you, probably contributes very little, and then expecting a lot from you. That's a very simple phenomenon, right? Can happen for all of us. Any examples, any experiences, any thoughts?
But from my experience, they don't give, but they just keep taking. I experienced plenty of that.
I hope none of us think that Sadhis has all these friends. Huh?
Yeah, it's true, it's true. It's true. That's why I stay away. Now I stay away completely. I walk alone. Because for me, I see if I mix around with these kind of friends, I'll be influenced with this stuff, stupid attitude. So I back off from them and walk alone. Even though I don't have anyone, I'm happy. Rather than having a headache, always, like, in a way, sometimes you have to, say something, might as well cut it off.
How do we take this second characteristic, like giving a little and expecting a lot? As you said, how does it happen? Anybody else? How do you think about it? How can this happen in society, in your life, maybe in others' life? How can it become a problem to that person? Let's say if you have lots of money, if you have lots of stuff, even when your friends keep approaching you, you might probably give away, right? You are very wise, so you give away. So it shouldn't be a problem, right? But this does not talk about a very rich person or a poor person. This talks about a very, what do you call, I would say somebody who's in the middle class, right? So he or she has to understand about income and expenses, right? Most of the people in society could be in that category in a way. So we all like to give, so there's no problem. As Buddhists, we should have an open hand, even giving a good smile, healthy smile, helping, right? But what if you have somebody who keeps approaching you and then giving a very little, and then but expecting a lot from you? Is it a very difficult feeling that you may probably struggle sometimes?
Like what Sadhiri suggested, walk away from them. Be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be something we all can do, Sadhris and King. Even the Buddha talks about this as a solution to monks, actually, because in a sutta called Kaggavisana, the Buddha said that if you don't have a good friend, just be alone because you practice it. But as a lay person, it might be a little difficult for you, right? Because you are surrounded by families and you have to sort of say hi and bye, right? So because this sutta is not about the arahants, okay? That's why I chose this sutta. This is not about an arahant. This is not about somebody who's going to attain sotapanna thing. This is about a normal lay person. How to make, because without you being a good person in society, you won't be able to understand those sotapanna kind of stuff. So it might not be that easy for us to be, just straight along. But maybe with your environment, it might be a good idea. But let's talk about something, how we can filter out friends. Probably we have a good friendship with somebody, because there are maybe good friends who might not do that, right?
Be diplomatic.
Yeah, diplomatic, but not maybe a smart, kind of a smartness. At the same time, this happens to some people in a way that, let's say you invite somebody over to your house and you treat that person with lots of food, right? Because you are a very generous person. But when you are invited by that person might not treat you
Yes,
not
generous.
even to that level. Yeah, as Jen, and you feel not happy about it. Probably it involves some money, involves some time commitment, and you know that you cannot change somebody who is very greedy, right? What will mostly happen is that you will understand and live with that person if you really want that person, right? So I think it happens in different formats, right? Sometimes in your life, you're committing a lot to somebody. You love that person, you like that person, but that person is not caring you enough. All this is involved in different sense to this thing because he or she contributes a little but expect a lot, right?
Maybe because he needs a lot and you have a lot to spare. So never mind, I'll give lah, Bhante. Just give what you want.
That's one idea. Yeah, that's one idea. Let's say you are super rich. That's one
You're rich
idea.
and he's very poor. So he needs something, we give lah. Never
Yeah.
mind lah.
There's no problem. But we
Uh.
talking about kind of a what do you call kind of a medium household. I would say not you can't spend a lot because you have your too tight budget for something, right? So I mean, kind of a general household, right? At that point, you can't be spending a lot, but still you have to be very smart. So the smartness could be the way, and also let's say now the last example I mentioned about that person is not contributing a lot, but you are supposed to contribute a lot. Maybe you are expected to contribute a lot. At that point, you always have a choice to select these friends, right? You always have a choice, right? Probably you are not taking that person too close to you, right? Then you are not offended by those acts, right? So there are ways to get this, over, rather than always keep worrying about it, right? And I have seen there are people saying that, see, I have contributed a lot, but this person has always come to me and then, took things away from me, but he or she is not doing to the same level. Yeah, so there are many personal issues around some people's lives. So it's a big question here. So what I'm saying is that although we cannot change, we may not be able to change those people. We have a choice to pick friends, because we're talking about the friends. Friends, so those people who you want to be closer. So you have to check this thing. Remember that there is a Pali Sutta where Buddha talks about a healthy relationship between two people. I would say partners. The sutta is about Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita. This couple approached the Buddha and then said, Bhante, I can't remember how many years that they've been together. We've been together, I think over 40 years, I guess, right? So ever since I fell in love with Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita is a man here. He's saying about the woman, his wife. Ever since I fell in love with her, I did not have any thought to think about any other woman in that way, in that passionate way, right? So that's how I've been spending with her. And then she also said the same thing. Ever since I fell in love with him, it didn't come to my mind any such kind of thoughts. So we both expect to be together in the next life. Is it possible? They asked from the Buddha. See, what did the Buddha say? Now, a lot of people might be confused here. Did the Buddha say, what? Anicca, don't think about it. Do you know where you're going to be reborn again? These normal talks, where what we can hear in today's world. Do more dana and all that. No, the Buddha said, yeah, it's possible. It is possible. Because they asked something from me, so he has to answer accordingly. But on four things. What are they? If you have been practicing equal generosity, samasatta, if you have been practicing equal precepts, morality, samasila, sama means equal. If you have been practicing, we both been practicing saddha sila, what you call the faith, trust between each other, equal trust. And if you have been practicing equal wisdom, sama, what you call panya, then if you want to be together in next life, that is possible. Right? It's possible. That's pretty interesting. So does this say that the Buddha is inviting people to karma? No, Buddha said, I'm not saying everybody to end the samsara, because we don't know, because everybody, different people have different thoughts, right? But I say it is dukkha. At the end, it's a dukkha. If you want to take that challenge, go ahead. There are two ways, right? So here, I want to point out this sama, equal, equal. That means when you want to choose a partner, it's good to say, now you're already in your middle age, I guess it's not, might be irrelevant to you, but just an idea, just think about how it happens. Both should have equal generosity. The husband would like to be generous, but lady might not be generous that much. So there is a big problem in the household. I don't want to donate that much, right? It could be the other way around, right? Maybe one of them is very suspecting, the other one is very open-minded. But they love each other. But there is a problem, because somebody is going to, suspect a lot. It's really a nuisance all the time, right? Overthinking also involved. And then samasila means maybe one of them is not virtuous, right? Like a drinking buddy, as you said that day, panasaka, right? Probably doing other things too a lot. But the other person is very virtuous, a good person. And then what about saddha, sila, chaga, panya, right? And then the trust, right? The mutual trust. So I was trying to, explain to you about this nature of understanding before you're going to be bonded by somebody in your life, and also with other friends, because it is said in Buddhism, your partner is the best friend, Bharyava Paramasa. So that means, now as we talk about friends, when you choose somebody, even your partners, and now in this case, new friends, you should be able to understand that this friend has some equality in virtues with me. That is a good thing to test upon, right? Before you start the friendship, right? Otherwise, if you just look at a small virtue and then going to make a very strong friendship, but your friend is always going to be, taking things away from you and then just contributes very little and expecting a lot from you, right? Probably that you go to a restaurant, right? You will have to always contribute a lot at the end, right? Right? You can see this in different ways, right? You can't be the person who had to pay for everybody sometimes, right? So it's a real issue for some people, right? That's why it's good to always understand whether I have these friends, whether my friends are like that, right? While you have a contribution, you are looking at other people too, not like looking at a very wealthy person to be in the company. So I'm always taken care by that person. Okay, that's the second one. Huh? Third characteristic is bhayasa kichang karot. What is bhaya in Pali?
Fear.
Fear. Can any one of you tell me any place in Pali, maybe the chanting, where you find this word?
Bhante, are you reading from the text now?
Text, Pali text.
I cannot find the
Yes.
words, Bhante.
Number 11.
Ah?
Yeah, number
Number
11.
11,
There's a verse actually. I'm actually at that verse.
Which verse is it?
Anyadattu haro hoti appena bahumicchati bhayassa kichang karoti sevati attakara.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Okay, you got
Okay.
it?
Okay, got it.
So, okay, now Sadhiri said, Bhaya means fear. But I also ask again, where do you find this Pali word in your chant? Now I made it simplified. Do you find this word in your chanting? Your chanting book, your chanting?
Which word?
Bhaya. B-H-A-Y-A. Bhaya. Have you heard this stanza? Sabbitiyo vivajjantu.
Sabbarogo vinasitu.
Sabbitiyo. What is it? Is that line familiar with everybody of you in the chanting book? Sabbitiyo vivajjantu. What is sabbitiyo? Bhita means fear. May all my fears be warded off. It's gone away. Another place where you find Bhaya. And you know, at the end of every sutta, normally monks chant. Monks end the chanting with this way: Etena sacca vajjena dukkha bhupa samintate. By the assertion of this truth, may your suffering go away. And then Etena sacca vajjena bhaya bhupa samintate. May all your fears go away. See the bhaya, B-H-A. Now I wanted to show you that this is a very useful word that you may find in your chanting. Bhayassa kichang karoti. Now the third characteristic of this, what you call the taker, or Anidatuhara friend, you can say the English word as taker, always try to take things away from you, is that he or she is always with you because he or she is scared about something. So in case I lose something, I have you because of that, right? I know that in our life, we might have that feeling in a way, but this person is always, maybe all the time with a good friend because he or she is feel scared about something. Now, this is how it was given in the commentary. Bhayassa kichang karoti iti attana bhayo uppanne tassa dasaviya hutva tantang kichang karoti. Whenever that this Anidatuhara friend is scared, this Anidatuhara friend always approaches a good friend because he or she knows that I can get something done with this friend, right? So as long as he or she is not scared, he or she is not coming to you, right? But there is a good side too. I mean, let's say whenever you are scared and feared, you might approach a good friend. Is that bad?
No.
It's good.
That shouldn't be a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Right? But this person never approaches you for other good things, only approaches you when that person is scared. So that means he or she shows that he or she has a a good connection to you, but it is not that. It is because of the fear that he or she cannot get rid of. That is why he or she only approaches you. Bhayassa kichankara, just because
But
he or she
Bhante,
wants to overcome fear.
Bhante, but if someone always come to me because of fear, because he's afraid of something, I must be very happy and very proud that I can give him confidence, make him feel secure. Come to me, I give you protection, I give you security. That is very good, isn't it? Don't you think I should feel very good about it?
That's what we said, the opposite side of this particular act. Sometimes bad people use good side too. So there's a good side, actually. There's a good side, right? But here, the third characteristic of this Anidatuhara friend is that he or she is not concerned about you at all. Not even come to see you at other times. Even he or she has lots of free time. Not even caring you. Only when they are feared, they approach. Is that a good thing, Brutus? That is the problem. That
I
could
think
be.
never
So
mind,
you-
Bhante. I think never mind. You see,
You are
if
you are
you
still
are-
okay, huh? Such a gentleman, huh?
if you come to me for help, I will help you as much as I can. If you got good thing, you don't want to come to me and share with me. Never mind, it's okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, it's okay. So we must have some generosity. If you come to me, I give it to him. He don't want to share with me, never mind.
Mhm.
Isn't it? This
Yeah,
what
that's really appreciate that.
Yeah,
But I wonder how other people might take it.
okay, other people, how you feel it?
but
Yeah, Sadhris.
in a way, the person who comes to you every time for the help, give you opportunities to do good things in return.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the problem here, don't forget, he keep coming, is taking advantage
Mhm.
of your weakness, of your kindness. So when time goes by, you will see that you made a bloody fool in a way. So you have to put a stop. If not, you're encouraging him to keep doing the wrong things. You
Okay,
see the way?
that's another point. And the other thing, Sadhris and Brutus, that Anidattuhara friend has all these 4 characteristics. So let's say he does not even come to you just because he is weird. He also comes to you to take things away from you. He also comes to you just to contribute a little and then take a lot from you. At the same time, he is coming to you just because he is scared and feared. So it's a whole bunch of package. It's a package.
Yeah.
Don't
Come
think
in a
it's just
package,
it's a package of the Anidattuhara friend. But I like this way of thinking, Brutus. I mean, if we could be like in the Mahayana, right? In the Mahayana, they say the Bodhisattvas. Um, the Bodhisattvas in the Mahayana, Bodhicharya Avatar, it's not Theravada, but interesting, says that I am not going to become the Buddha until everybody is going to be the Buddha.
Yeah.
I mean, just being very altruistic about other beings. It is said in the Bodhicharya Avatar by Shantideva that I am not attaining Buddhahood until even the small grass going to be attained. Grass is not going to attain Nibbana. Grass is just an inanimate thing. But see the way of thinking. So I like to see altruistic way, because a lot of people say Theravada has lots of selfish, some of the scholars, they might brand it, because some people actually might feel, I just go to Nibbana. I don't care other people. If I go to attain Nibbana today, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's a wrong idea. In Theravada, it's
it's
not
idea.
how it was given, but people
Yeah,
take
I was
it that
saying
way.
also the bodhisattva part is too idealistic.
No, actually, the Bodhisattva thing is from Theravada. But the problem was Theravada scholars have not developed the concept, but the Mahayana, people, they developed it. That's why it was very interesting. Anyways, now there's going to be a split. These two. So the idea is good, because whenever somebody approaches you, you can be a light to those people. That's a good idea. But as Sadhguru said, what if this could be a sign of, misuse? Probably just because I'm doing this, they might do the same thing to other person, right? So we have to be careful for that too. And as I said to you, it is a package. So don't think that Anidattuhara or taker only comes to you just because he is or she's scared. He wants to come to you to take things away from you. He contributes a little. It's a package. Any other thoughts before we jump on to the last characteristic?
Bhante, how about those who borrow money regularly from friends? Is this under this category?
Borrowing money and lending the money, but now I'm asking you, are they paying back?
The friends that approach you for money to borrow and they are in bad situation, is this under this category? That kind of friend.
Well, it's hard to say, because even a good friend can approach you just because he or she is super broke, might approach. So we cannot exactly say, but if you know somebody is always approaching you and do not pay back, just trying to deceive you and pass in the due dates and all that, it's kind of a problem to think about. But we cannot say just because somebody is borrowing money, this is a friend like that. Hard to say. But if you have an experience that somebody is always approaching you, but that person pays back, it's okay, no problem. But not paying back, there might be a kind of Anudattahara. That's how I think it's hard to say, because we have to see the full picture of that person's activity, right?
Thank you.
Any other thoughts? Okay, let's see the last characteristic. Sevati Attakarana. That's what you call, that's the summary of the Anudattahara friend. That means this Anudattahara friend is a super selfish person. Sevati Attakarana. So let's see the English meaning here. It says, the taker can be identified by 4 things: by only taking, asking for a lot while giving little, performing duty out of fear, and offering service in order to gain something. Okay, so in our translation, in our way of translating this, I would say, he or she is trying to be with you just for their, their sustenance, for their life, right? And he or she is not concerned about you, right? So this is how it was given. Mitta santava vasena na sevati attano attameva pachasi santa sevati. That means this Anudattahara friend always wants to associate you just because that person wants to get something out of you. Dhamma folks, I have this question, like whenever you find that one of your friend or somebody, maybe a couple of your friends become very selfish people who only misuse you to take things away from you, what is your immediate feeling?
Dislike.
Huh?
I think dislike.
What's the immediate feeling of, you think that, let's say you are a very good person, maybe you are no normal person, but you think that those people taking things away from your money, other material stuff, your time, probably time, not even money, your time. They take your time. They keep talking to you, and then you have to contribute your time. But at the end, they are not concerned about. They are not concerned about your health, concerned about your well-being. What's the immediate feeling that comes to your?
They're not your true friends.
That one.
Yeah, not sincere friends.
That.
The feeling of it.
I'm asking the feeling actually.
Yeah.
This is the understanding. I mean, yeah.
Bhante, the feeling of betrayal.
That's a good idea. Feeling of betrayed by those people.
Disappointed, Bhante.
Disappointment. Yes, you are disappointed. But the problem here is, as Buddhists, we cannot expect a lot of things from others too, right? This is another paradox here. The paradox is that there are 2 truths that are individually in conflict. On one hand, we cannot take this pressure from being misused. On the other hand, as Buddhists, we cannot do like that, right? 2 truths are in conflict, right? So that means we have to look at it in a very peaceful, healthy way. Probably understand friends are like this, right? But I have to keep an eye not to become a bully, not to become a victim of these people, right? Maybe it depends on how you're going to respond to those people, right? The immediate feeling, as you said, is a disappointment, because things happen in a very different way. And then somebody else says something else, disappointment, and then being cheated, right? What else? Not true friends at the end. Actually, not a true friend, right? It's a bad friend. There's no argument about it.
So can we avoid?
Okay, so now today.
Can we avoid such people? Can we avoid them?
In order to talk that in details, we have to go to the good friends. Still wait for that. 4 good friends, we have to find out. But now we find out the bad friends. This is how things go. There are 4 good friends at the end. Now still the first bad friend.
Bhante,
right? Yeah.
Bhante, I have another thought. It's normally for my the way like that is the karma or something that we owe him in previous life, and this life you come back to get from you back. So you will think that I should give to return back in order not to owe him anymore. Is it something, some thinking is wrong or correct?
Well, again, if we look at samsara and as a Buddhist, these thoughts are inevitable. We think like that, there are stories where somebody said that I want to kill you. I want to destroy your life by being your man, being your wife, being your daughter, because you can't separate from me. There are a lot of instances that happen in the Buddhist stories. Yes. But the problem is, how sure are we about such things? If you decide already that there is something you cannot change, maybe you might think that way, right? But I think Buddha never said to experience the bad results. This is a very wrong idea that many people have. Maybe I have a bad karma, so I had to. No, there are things you can do, either to change your mind, probably to change the environment, change the people also. In the worst case scenario, why not? Because who should be so much bullied by somebody, who should be so much suffering because of something that may have happened in a past life, right? Yeah, so there are always things to do, but there are situations where you cannot make very immediate decisions. It takes time sometimes, but there are ways to change your life with those people, right? Of course, there are things you can do. Buddha never said, now just face your consequences, right? Now, let me give you an example. Angulimala is a very big example. Some bad people use actually. When some people keep saying, do good thing, what about Angulimala? Killed 900 people and became an arahant. That's an exceptional, example, because Angulimala had done a lot of good karma in the past life, in many past lives, right? Because every criminal has an opportunity in Buddhism. That's what we see in Buddhism, right? So what about every good person? They all have number of opportunities, right? So the thing here is that even the Buddha said, if you do more good karma, if you do really good karma, you may be able to change, unless you have done the 5 bad karma, those very bad ones. There is a chance. So never ever just be succumb to the feeling, okay, past karma, so I gotta be, no, that's not a good idea. I think that's really believing what you call, there's a bad concept at the time of the Buddha. Let me tell you that determinism. When the Buddha was reborn in India, there were 3 bad concepts about how things happen. You want to know what they are? Now you always say karma. Do more good karma. Maybe it's a bad, maybe a past karma. This is what is happening in our mind. It is not true, because a lot of people don't know how it happened. The sutta name, I guess, Ti-Ratana Sutta, if I'm correct. The Buddha said, when he was, when he was actually teaching Dhamma, he found people who believed in what you call everything happened from a karma concept, right? For everything, there's a reason from karma. Buddha said, no, it is not. Because it may be a karma, it may not be a karma, it may be a present circumstance, right? And the other 2, it's about somebody gives our future, like a god or something, like in other religions. And what's the other one? Isaranimana Hetuvada. And then everything has been done, like what the Jain people believe. Third one is things happen without a reason. Buddha said, everything happens, every bad, good thing happens for a reason, but may not be a karma. So then Buddha said, I reject this concept. I say karma is a concept where you create karma, where you neutralize some of the karmas in the past life that you may have. So it's a very full, free, independent concept here. It's not like Hindu karma. not like Jain karma, not like the popular karma. I think we say instant karma in the West, right? It's a very, very interesting open-minded concept.
What sutta is this, Bhante?
Hmm?
This what sutta? What sutta? What's the name of this?
I have to check first. I think it's Ti-Ratana Sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya, but I will probably I can send it to Ariana. Yeah, I want to make sure it's correct one. Ti-Ratana. Buddha rejected everything happens because of the karma.
Wow.
But now the problem is, do we hear some of the talks by people? Everything is karma. No. My research at University of Victoria in Canada was how to neutralize bad karma within the Buddhist ethics from Theravada, actually, 6 years ago. It's possible. Yes, it is possible, because if you say that you can't get rid of some of the karmas unless those 5, 6 karmas, that is incorrect. Okay, let's get back to our conversation, and Lim asked about past karma. Yes, there may be people who may be with us because of past karma. Maybe, if so, you can still do different things to minimize your mental, physical, what do you call, the damage.
But in a way, sometimes we can say that it's a past karma we are suffering from, but at the same time, sometimes it could be the karma which is created by the other person, a new karma.
That is the problem. The problem is, how do we decide that this is a past karma? Only a Buddha can decide that. Because Buddha has a special knowledge called Kammassa Kata Jnana. It's one of the 73 jnanas that Buddha has. Some monks do some puja called respecting 73 jnanas, right? One of the jnanas that Buddha has is that he knows exactly what somebody has done to become so. So we are not into that level. So how do we decide? That is one problem. Second thing is, as you said, most of the karmas we have are our wrong decisions in this life. Our, I'm not going to be very wild, like uncivilized, I would say unwise decisions we made in our life. Right? That is why in Girimananda Sutta, Buddha said, there are people who are saying, I have a pain in my body because I went to the gym. I have not followed the way how to lift weight. I directly went to a certain machine, right? Without an advice from a personal, instructor. But now you have the pain. That means sometimes you get pain without doing things accordingly. I think a lot of our problems are not related to the past, most of them. But our main human life, it should be definitely connected to the karma, as in the Abhidhamma. But our small minor decisions are mostly our daily issues, right?
Our own ignorance.
Sorry?
Our own ignorance of understanding.
Most of them are our ignorance. Because if we are so much driven by the karma, we cannot do anything then. What is our relevance to this life? Where is our effort? How do I focus my mind? They are big questions. I think we put more emphasis on something that is not true. Yes, karma is what I was born into, but most of the things I do, they are not that fundamental karma. They are my own, what you call, decisions.
Yes, Bhante, it's true, Bhante. Just like my student, he said he failed his examination 3 times. And he said, that's my karma, not to pass the exam. But actually, he didn't study hard. He can fail, take 10 times also, he will fail. Right now, Bhante, he says, cannot say it's my karma, I cannot pass this exam. Where got such thing, no such meaning. If you study hard, sure can pass.
I can, as I said earlier, can talk about how to improve our mind in this life. Not talking about something which I have no idea. Now, if you take a look at many people, why they are doing a lot of good karma, why do you do? The next life I have to be like this. Really? Do you know how it can happen? If I don't know about my past, it is, I mean, it is definitely I have a past life. I have definitely a future life, but we have no idea about it. What happens is that you are unnecessarily pressurizing us about next life and previous life, and we are wasting this precious moment to do something, especially to develop our mind. That's the most important thing, right? What if you become a cat next life? You never know, can do anything, right?
May I ask your opinion on this thing, a law of attraction, or the bird of the same flock flies together? So what do you
like-minded people?
Like-minded people, you attract them, or the law of attraction? Because in Western, they talk so much that you attract the person in front of you. So what is your opinion in that?
Very interesting. I think we are all mostly like-minded, right? We are mostly like-minded. That's why we want to come, because we have lots of things, right? You have lots, I have lots of things, but we want to do this. We want to learn from each other. It's not Bhante Chandima's talk here, right? Because we go in a way, as Aliana say, happy learning together, right? So I think this, what you call like-minded nature, always works in both ways. Bad people get connected each other, and good people may be connected each other. So yeah, I believe that, because it is how things happen, right? It may take some time to be like, let's say, good like-minded people, will make those friendships after a certain time. Good friendships don't happen in a month or two, right? Takes time, right? But if you want to become a drinking buddy, you can become those friends in just in one day, right? Right? Those like-minded people. So, like as you said, like-minded people have a karmic connection. Yeah, it's correct.
Same time, but same time,
Yeah, life connection. Yeah.
At the same time, we have a frequency. The frequency will meet, the energy of us to meet a good person and reject the bad person. That's a frequency kind of thing, no?
I think that's probably, it could be the nature of the mind. Mind always wants to be wild. The natural mind's always wild, fickle, unsteady. But whenever you put your mind to this steady, peaceful tranquility, then you always have a nature. I have to follow, pursue wholesome things. Then how do I do that? I need Kalyana Mittas. I cannot just do being at home by reading a book and watching a Dhamma talk online. Can we do that? You can do us to a certain level, but it's not going to work, because we need some like-minded people. Whenever you want to meditate, you would do it very well whenever you are surrounded by other people, right, Bella? And if you go to the retreat, you see, many people are meditating, so I have to meditate too, right? When you go to the gym, right? That, what you call the herd mentality. Sorry for that word, herd mentality. This is what they say. So I think it happens from the like-minded people. So there may have a karmic connection too.
Is it true that the evil-minded people tends to be connected more than good-minded people, and they tend to be united longer and more united than good people?
Yeah.
Good people usually stay alone. Evil people like to come together.
Because
and
bad
evil
people
become very strong.
Yeah, because bad people think the good people are bad. They don't know how to function. So we can do a lot of things when we are together. We can drink a lot. We can do bad things, right? But when the good, but I think the same applies to good people too, because the good people, I always tell people that you need to be creative in your whatever wholesomeness, right? Think differently about your good things, right? So then you may find a lot of things even among the like-minded good people. But unfortunately, most of the like-minded good people are very, as you said, could be boring, because they don't think a lot. They think, okay, 10 kusala, that's it, meditate, Ti-Ratana, that's it. I mean, you have to be creative also, right? right? Creativity always opens a lot of doors, even within wholesomeness, right? But from day one, bad people have lots of things to do. We're gonna cover all these drinking stuff. We're gonna cover going somewhere, do all these things, lots of things one by one. But we shouldn't be bothered by such people, because if we know what we want, yeah. I think our friend's discussion of the Untitled friend has gone more towards the karma perspective now, because I think everybody likes talking about karma.
Okay, we proceed.
Yeah. No, I mean, any questions other than that? Because next week we're gonna be discussing about the next bad friend, right? Anupiya Bani. Yeah, this Anupiya Bani friend has something very interesting. We call this person as what you call talker. Kim, you said talker. This is the real talker. You can't beat him or her. If he or she opens the mouth, you're gonna be vulnerable if you are not really steady. So that we're gonna be discussing the bad friend who is a good talker, right? So today we talked about taker, who is always trying to take things away from you. Any questions overall about the whole thing today, about the friends? Let me ask you, how much are friends important to us in our spiritual journey? Now today I gave you a hint. You can practice by yourself, but you must have Kalyana Mittas. Why is it? I'm going to explain to you, because it's a good idea to say. Otherwise, you might say, I don't need friends, I just do my own practice. How much are friends important to us? I'm not talking to drink. I'm not talking to go on trips. I'm not going to go to cafes, restaurants. I'm talking about how much are friends important to our spiritual journey.
Are you asking us or are you going to tell us?
But both, actually. Yeah, Zihan?
I think total Buddha Sasana is depend on Kalyana Mitra.
That's the answer.
Very
That's what I wanted to say. Okay, who asked this question? Bhante Anand. Bhante Anand, once when he was with the Buddha, he said to the Buddha, Bhante, I think half of the Buddha Sasana, spiritual journey in our life, if you look at the context of your each personal spiritual journey, he said to the Buddha, Bhante Ananda is an unenlightened monk, but though he is very, very well versed in Dhamma, I think only half, 50% of my spiritual life is influenced by culture. Buddha said, no, don't say like that. 100%, the full percent of your spiritual life depend on Kalyana Mittas, because they are the driving force behind you. Then somebody asked me, how many Kalyana Mittas should I have? Okay, that's a good question too. At least 2. Okay? Really? 2 people? Really difficult to find out. Said, don't worry. We all have one Kalyana Mitta. As the Buddha said in one of the suttas in the Samyutta Nikaya. Who is that? The Buddha. I think the Buddha is always a Kalyana Mitta to all of us. When you read your books, when you think about your retreats, when you think about your Dhamma knowledge, think about your good thing, Buddha is always with us, though he passed away a long time ago. Then the second one, you gotta find out. You gotta find
Sangha. The Sangha.
Yeah, Sangha. Sangha should be, but then the problem is that you should get a custom tailored advice. That is why in ancient books like Visuddhimagga, it says that you need to approach a Kammatthana teacher to get some advice for your own meditation, right? So we should have at least another person. So it shouldn't necessarily be a monk also, probably a good lay person also. Could be probably be your husband, probably be your wife, probably be somebody else, because it could be somebody, because I think it is somebody who is always with you. Sangha is somebody you can go and ask, yes, but you have some limits.
Yeah.
You have some boundaries. You can't
Okay,
ask
your
a lot
father,
of
lah,
things.
isn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, parents.
Is it the father?
It could be. Could be. Now in this sutta, Singala's mother and father are his Kalyana
Best
Mittas.
friend.
Because of why? They are the people who made this plan.
Yeah.
The son didn't know what are the 6 directions.
Oh.
Right? They thought definitely he would go early in the morning and respect 6 directions, and then he would meet the Buddha. See, they are Kalyana Mittas. Anybody who motivates you to understand the real Dhamma is a Kalyana. Not only that, who always keeps you updated, who always tells you this is the thing that I know, but not pushing you a lot. Sometimes you should not push a lot. Some people don't like that. So, understanding the boundaries, but you are influencing each other. That is the real nature. So you should have at least one of them, right? So then Kalyana Mittas are very important. I mean, friends in general are very important. But at the moment we are talking normal friends, but this is a Kalyana Mitta that we are talking about. So it's very important to discuss mittas in Buddhism. Okay, so we'll ask one more time any questions, otherwise we're going to transfer. Yeah, Dilhan.
Meantime, there's another saying that if we can't find Kalyana Mitta, better live alone.
To stay alone.
Yes, stay alone.
Yeah. Let me think about it. Ekacharyan dalhan kaira natti bali sahayata. If you don't find a good friend, Kalyana Mitta, better to be alone than being in the company of the unwise people. Yeah, it is good. But I think we talked about that at the beginning in a way, because it's about a Kalyana Mitta who really takes us to Nibbana and all that. But the 8 friends who we are talking here in Sigalovada Sutta, fundamental normal friends that we have to say hi and bye and then do our daily chores on a daily basis. Yeah, but while we have good friends, then we need Kalyana Mitta. So I say good friends and bad friends and good friends. On top of the good friends, there should be Kalyana Mittas. At that level, if you cannot find Kalyana Mitta, then it's better to be alone rather being controlled by, suppressed by a Papa Mitta.
Then Asevanacha Bala, and then Bala and this friend, what is the main difference that means then? For example, we can come with, we can friendly with bad people, but for example, I know with a small instruction, he can get into a good track, right?
Mm-hmm.
For my intention is that bad people get into good track. So I am being friend with him and get into this.
Yeah.
Then is it then I have confused this Balanang and this friendship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you look at Mangala Sutta, it is said that there are 2 Mangala factors that we need to create in our life. One Mangala factor is Asevanacha Balana, not associating unwise people, and then Panditanaga Sevana, associating wise people. So wise and unwise. So it's very interesting that you mentioned about don't we have anything that we can do for Bala? Yes, we should be. There are some Balas who can be really released from this ignorance, right? So we feel that if we can help out that kind of a person, if you know really well this person can have a chance, an opportunity, yes, you're going to help that person in a very careful way. But we know there are very utter stark, unwise people that you won't be able to help out. Yeah, so there is definitely this kindness we should have in case we can help out them. Otherwise, don't try to put your fingers in their life. They might do something else. So be kind, because as Buddhists, we should be naturally kind to all of them. But if you think, if you could motivate in a better way, just do it. It's a very good help. it's a very good, great help, even in your Dhamma life too, because to release someone from the ignorance. Other than that, we have to take care about it. Because we should never say, these are balas, I don't want to help them. No, that's a very bad idea, right? As Buddhists, we should be kind. In case I could help out, yes, I'm going to help out. Otherwise, I know I can't help out. Remember what happened to Channa? Do you know Channa? Who is Channa in the Buddhist history? What happened to Channa? It's a very interesting thing that I normally mention to some.
Chanda is Buddha's charioteer.
The driver,
Channa.
right? The cart.
Driver,
What happened
yes.
to him? What happened to him at the end? Channa joined the Buddhist order, but he was always complaining to the Buddha, saying, you know what? See, the Sariputta, Moggallana, you gave them the chief disciple positions, but me, I'm the one who helped you, right? Who gave you everything, supported you from the palace to go out. But for me, I was not given anything, right? Then the Buddha started advising him, but didn't work. Even the Buddha could not help him out. Then the Buddha said, I think monks should not talk with him. So he will feel this isolation, right? Yeah, so that means even there were a lot of balas, even the Buddha could not handle. What about us, right? Remember what happened in the Gositarama? In Gositarama, there was a big problem when the Buddha was living in that temple. Suddenly, there was a argument happened between the monks who learned a lot of Vinaya, monks who know a lot of Dhamma. They were saying different things about something in the washroom. And then the Buddha said, it doesn't matter, because Vinaya is conventional. The Vinaya that we know in the past sometimes have to be changed according to the life. But they did not mind. Then the Buddha said, I'm not going to advise you again. I'm going to leave the temple. Because Buddha knew if we left the temple, the devotees is going to stop giving dana. Right? See, that means there are such stark, unwise people, even at the time of the Buddha. Right? So it's pretty interesting. But still, do not drop your idea of helping someone. I think there are not many channas in our life. Our friends, even you think that they are not good people, they are good people, but they may be misled, misunderstood. If we could, we're going to help them. If we could not, then stay away, right? Okay, so let's then transfer good karmas to departed people and the deities. May all the good karmas that we've been accumulating in all these ways be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. If they were reborn in a painful realm, may they be able to utilize all these good karmas to be reborn in a better place. If they are already reborn in a better, comfortable place, may they be able to use all these good karmas to improve their Dhamma knowledge, and then finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's recite the stanzas. Idammi ñāti nang hotu, sukita hontu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu, sukita hontu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu, sukita hontu ñātayu. Also, let's share all the good karmas with the Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas. May all the Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas receive all these good karmas and protect and bless all of you, your family members, especially monastics too, and even your grandchildren, everybody who participated today, who could not participate today, all the devotees, everybody. May you be blessed and protected by the Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas for good health, quality of life, and all the prosperity at the same time, safety. May all the Devas and Nagas and Mahitikas also be well and happy, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammihi sambatang punya sampadang Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Aka satthacha bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tulu pasasanam Aka satthacha bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tudesanam Aka satthacha bhummattha devanaga mahittika Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tumang paranti chirang rakhang tutang sadati. We have another wish before our main wish. May I be always in the company of Kalyana Mitras till I attain Nibbana, not with the company of Papa Mitras. With that in mind, let's recite this stanza too. Imina punya kammena Mami bala samagamu satang samagamu tu yava nibbana pattiya. May all the good karmas that we've been accumulating in all these ways be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana siddhisse nichang vaddha prachayinu Chataru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu. By the noble power of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, may all your fears go away, may all your sicknesses go away, may all your sufferings go away. May you be always peaceful, happy, prosperous, and safe. Okay. That's the end of the discussion.
See you next week, Bhante.
See you next week, next Friday. We're talking about the second bad friend, the talker.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Vachi Parama is the name.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Good night,
Ali-
Bhante. Good night, everybody.
Right?
Good night, sister.
Good night. Good
everyone.